Hello, who's calling?
It's Lynn Harvey from New Zealand.
Oh my God, love, how kind of you to ring. And this is so thrilling that you got through because it's totally random. Firstly, I see your Jacinda Ardern has basically admitted there's going to be a second-class citizen, which is most of you, who don't play along with her bullshit lockdowns and jabberoonie boosters and all this stuff. How are you, firstly, is my question.
I'm in bits. I've lived here for 21 years. I've been a nurse for 44 years. I was stood down yesterday and I'm not allowed to go back. I've been a nurse in the acute response team in the Lakes, and my service manager told me not to go in after Thursday, and then sent me on shift. I've got to sell the house. This is all because I won't get jabbed. And I'm absolutely broken.
Well, firstly, darling, let me tell you this. Thank you for your service, firstly, because you're a hero and I couldn't do what you do. I want you to know you don't deserve this. And I'm going to tell you now, Jacinda Ardern, I think that's how you say it, she is going to rue the day she turned her people against each other and against her. Because you know what, this unbelievable bullshit where we're being asked to clap for the NHS and health workers 1 minute and the next minute we're throwing you under the bus because you're not playing along with whatever obsession the government has to make an example of you, to influence others, is unacceptable. And I'm just so sorry. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve it. And I wish there was something I could do, but they're on a mad tear. They're not listening, are they?
I know. I belong to a support group who Voices for Freedom, they're called, and they've been so good. They've sent me templates to fight this. I've already sent a very lengthy, well-researched letter back. I won't have any money coming in. They said to take leave and use your holidays. I've got 2 weeks holiday because I had major surgery in June.
Can I just pause you a second? May I ask you some personal questions? Have they sacked you?
No, they haven't even officially suspended me. Well, I am just told if I don't have the jab by Friday, I can no longer go to work.
Can I just tell you this? I know a bit about the law. I've been quite involved in it the last couple of years, and I've studied a lot of things, free speech and human rights and all this stuff. And I can't see anywhere in the Human Rights Act, and I'm not saying I can speak on behalf of New Zealand, but I can't imagine it would be that different to here, where a government would be allowed to sack you for not having a government-inspired injectable which they're forcing upon you against your will in a court of law. It would not stand. Now, I beg of you this, do not resign, say nothing, and let them sack you. If at that point we then need to go to step 2, which is to get the lawyers in, and I can't help you from here.
I've already spoken to a lawyer.
What have they said?
She said if they do not follow protocol, then they are going to Hoen. They haven't followed protocol. We've had a mandate from the Minister of Health just saying that we can no longer practice as nurses anywhere, in hospital, in nursing homes, on helplines, district, nowhere. We can't practice anywhere. I called the nursing council. My practicing certificate is not in jeopardy at this point, but I can't work anywhere, Alex.
No, but let me just calm you down. Let me just calm you down. And what I'm saying is my belief in that they're going to have to follow the law. Now, they may choose to not follow the law, but here's what I believe is going to happen, like with Southwest Airlines in America. Have you seen what happened to them last week?
Yes, I have.
They had to back down. They're paying them to stay at home, and I think they will have to do that to you indefinitely. And it's no different to furlough. And you need to tell them, fuck you. I have dedicated my life to saving people's lives, to being a good person, to being an angel. And you're now asking me to go home and not save people's lives because you want me to have something put inside me I don't want to have. Now, whether you should or you shouldn't isn't the argument. The human rights legal argument is that you can't be forced by law with the threat of being fired to have something inside you that you don't want. It will never, ever get past a high court judge, ever. It won't. I can't.
Alex, when I spoke to the service manager who told me not to come back, I said to her, you are in violation of the Universal Declaration of Independence, our own Bill of Rights in New Zealand, the Nuremberg Code, and it just
But remember, with the greatest respect, she's Goebbels to Hitler. These people are having to follow what they're being told to do to you. She probably doesn't agree with it herself. What I've learnt in all of my escapades over the last couple of years, I believe in judges, and I'll tell you why. One single word: precedent, right?
Yes.
If a judge was to rule that it was okay for you to be fired under the threat that you would not have an injection of something, it would be the end of the world, because what that precedent would set is that tomorrow another country or another thing or this one or that one could suddenly decide they want you to be jabbed with another thing. And then they can threaten you. It will never get through. Human rights is so protective of our speech and, believe it or not, our bodies. It's just that they are going head to tail, morning, noon and night to bang this drum to convince people through fear and threat that if you don't correspond with their demands, you will be sacked and you'll have your livelihood taken away. I don't believe it will happen. I believe you will be paid. You might have to stay at home. Well, fuck them. They're only going to punish themselves. And I do this line a lot. They're eating themselves alive. At a time they're saying they can't get angels like you, they're forcing you to stay at home. And it's unfucking believable. It's irresponsible. And it's also wasting public money of someone who wants to work and could save a life. It's indefensible on every single human and legal level, my darling. And I have to believe that this will be thrown out, that this will be overturned, and that you will win. I cannot believe, I'll have to give in. If this goes through, I'm done, because there is no reason. There is no voice. It can't get past a judge. They wouldn't allow it.
Well, a friend emailed me yesterday and said they've deferred it for 2 more weeks. I've had nothing from management.
But this is what they're going to do. You see, you've got to stand strong. What you have to do in a time of defeat is to stand your ground. And I'm doing it right now. Every day I wake up to teach lessons.
Alex, my integrity is the most important thing
I can
to me.
hear it.
Without it, I might as well be dead.
I agree.
I said that to my manager. And I said, my integrity is intact. Is yours? And it just flowed over lukewarm water. But
don't shoot the messenger. It's not them.
I know.
This has come down from Jacinda Ardern, who is this woman who is on this mad fucking tear in her dictatorial, fucking globalist, megalomaniacal way of managing her New Zealand, that she wants to control every little minutiae. She wants to be over everything, and she wants to come out believing she's a hero. I don't believe you've achieved that much greatness. You certainly haven't wiped out the old Vindaflu yet, have you? It's still there. It hasn't worked. Closing your borders
hasn't worked.
Alex.
You've got it in one. It's this country used to be the most fabulous place on the planet. That's why I brought my child here when she was 8. Now it's a police state.
It is. Australia the same.
They're going along like the sheep in this country.
But what you have to do, and I want to leave you with this, and I'm begging of you, repeat after me. I am right.
I am right. I know that, Alex.
Next one. I will not give in. You can't. You have to stand by.
Alex.
This is your human right to decide. I'm not even going to ask you why you don't want it. It's none of my fucking business. It's your body. You should be able to do with it what you will. And I applaud you. I thank you for your service. You're an angel, and the fact they would treat you like this, a plague of locusts on their fucking private parts. I think it's an abomination of humanity that we would treat the very people we were fucking clapping for a year ago and say, fuck right off if you don't have the prick. It's outrageous. It cannot be lawful, darling. Don't worry. I'm telling you, stand strong and you're going to be fine. I promise you. Everyone so far, it's a bit like the arrests. We've had a lot of arrests here for the COVID laws. Guess how many have ended up in front of a judge? Of the 230, I think, arrests under the COVID laws, guess how many have ended up in front of a judge?
None.
Zero. None.
Yeah,
they were not lawful, and I said this from the beginning.
I listen to you every day, and you keep me going, but I'm struggling right now.
You're not struggling. You are not struggling. You are as strong as you've ever been, and you are going to stand up to this hard-on woman, and you're going to say to her, you do not have the right to dictate my medical future, my medical present, let alone my medical past. I am not going to edify you with doing what you say I should do when I believe I shouldn't. You need to stand strong. There are many, many people like you. That's the other thing. You are not alone. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands.
I know that.
And they can't cope without you. I'm telling you, love, they're going to have to back down. But same in this country. We are in a national health crisis because there's no fucking staff to wipe asses of old people, to do heart surgery, to identify cancers, to do all the things that are killing people. The real diseases, things like Alzheimer's, dementia, heart disease, cancer, the biggest killers. And by the way, as far as I'm aware, COVID's still 25. We have much more important things to do than waste time on this. And I am so sorry you're going through it. Stay strong, my darling. I've got your back, and you're going to be fine. I promise.
Let me just say one more thing, Alex. I was at a very small demonstration yesterday, and they informed me, how true it is I don't know, that they've got 1,600 doctors, nurses and midwives flying into New Zealand from India.
Well, they can listen. They can tell you what they're going to do. Fucking jab them at the airport. What are they going to do? And please, this is ludicrous. Listen, you can put plasters over wounds. I'm not a medical man, although I was a gynecologist in the 80s. But I used to give ladies 2 thumbs up. Listen, they can try and put plasters over gaping wounds as much as they want. They can bring in all the Indians they like. I'm sure they're fabulous. But the reality is, nothing is going to be as dedicated, as committed, as talented and as disciplined as you. And eventually they're going to see. Don't give in. Certainly do not allow them to make you resign. And I beg of you, let them sack you, because it cannot be lawful. I've read every document on human rights and all the things you've said. Nuremberg, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is Nazi stuff. They will never get away with it in front of a judge. I promise you.
Thank you so much.
I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well,
I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it either.
Darling, it's been my pleasure. I want you to keep in touch. I don't know whether you'll be able to get through again because the phones do get busy, but would you email me and let me know how you go, please?
Yes, I will. Yes,
all right, darling. I'm sending you all the love, and just sit at home and wait, because they're going to look very fucking stupid, and Ardon can sit there trying to pretend she's the big woman and she wants to be the next empress of the world. As far as I can see, she's nothing short of the great dictator, and it will not wash. This is a dark day in history, but you're a hero. You're 10 times the woman she'll ever be. All right, darling?
I know. Thank you. Bye.
Love you. Bye, darling. Bye-bye. What an amazing call. I'm so grateful she called in. What are we doing? What are we doing to this world? What are we doing to great people? We've got people murdered on the streets. 2 teens murdered in Brentwood last night. They're being left alone. Yet we're sacking, threatening people with losing their careers who are good, honourable, talented, disciplined, beautiful people, angels who want to care for people. It's out-fucking-rageous. Shame on you, Jacinda Ardern.